Yo, Cuppa Joe here with another Rank X session. This is the series where I play Rank X matches and then we go back and talk about them to see what we can learn. Today's episode will be featuring the Nautilus on a variety of maps and modes, so hold on tight cause it's gonna be a wild ride. Starting off the match by painting up a little bit, just like my octoling mother always taught me. There's some action happening down there, so I'm just throwing out some suppressing fire, trying to paint behind that splash wall. That's a strong position for my opponents to be holding down there because we're only able to attack them from this one direction, unless somebody takes the time to flank all the way around, which someone on my team actually does. And this Brella overextended, feeding me a splat. We have the advantage for the briefest of moments before my N-Zap gets demolished by their heavy splatling. An enemy is about to jump in, and I know I have my baller, so I risk it for the biscuit. In the end, I got burned. You need to be looking for opportunities to team up on your enemies, so my N-Zap dying while we had the numbers advantage totally threw our opportunity out the window, and when I jumped across that gap and got myself splatted, that was another misplay because if I had waited just an extra moment, then my team would have been there to help me, and I would have been much more likely to survive. A little bit of awkward movement here, got caught in enemy ink while trying to move across this tricky little platform, whatever. I find it really fun to use the Nautilus because you just gotta press so many buttons to properly wield it, and I personally enjoy focusing on the more technical and mechanical aspects of the game because it feels really good once you get the hang of a new technique. Anyway, my team has a power clam, and I should be using my baller to help that power clam reach the basket, but instead I got too greedy and died while trying to build one more power clam. You want to have a lot of clams before making a Clam Blitz push, that way you can get a big lead off of one push, but once an opportunity to push arrives, you can't waste any time going for extra clams. You just gotta take what you can get. My team broke the basket open anyway, so I'm gonna try to score a few extra points. Got a little too excited there and threw one clam at the wall. After landing, I only scored 2 clams, and there was still 1 clam left in my pocket when I died, so that clam that I left behind didn't actually make a difference. We have a nice lead here, so I want to focus on map control to prevent the enemy from building a power clam. There's some clams here that I want to protect, and a heavy splatling who wants to take those clams, so obviously he's getting roasted and flamboasted, am I right? And I almost got killed by the jumping in 96 gal again, but not this time, my friend. I have a power clam built now, so I want to try to find a way to score it, but the enemy has a power clam too, so I should have just turned around to help my team stop that push, but I was just really kind of tunnel visioning, working this piece of cover really hard. I could have gone really aggressive and actually gotten the splat on this heavy splatling, but it would have been risky because one mistake would mean that the heavy would have enough time to build up a charge and splat me, so I did not go for that risky play. My team wiped out the enemies who were scoring on our basket, so now it's our turn to try to get a push going here. I noticed one of my teammates built a power clam, so I tried to ball her in to give us both a chance to score, but it turns out that person who made the power clam immediately died with it, and I didn't notice, so I was just left there looking like an idiot. Once again, gonna focus more on map control for a little bit. I should have stayed on the right side here because there's a lot of clams that spawn in this area which I can protect, and if an enemy builds a power clam over there, which one of them does, then they are gonna be pretty close to my team's basket. I'm caught in an awkward spot here between a baller and a Brella. I chose to deal with the baller first since it was a more immediate threat to me, and that baller wasn't going to be able to score that clam until after their baller expired. It all works out in the end, we pull off the defense. Skip it just a bit to where my team has a power clam, so I take myself on a magical baller journey all the way to the enemy clam basket. I got pretty deep in there, blew up the Brella's shield, took out the L3. The Brella is still there with no shield, but I choked against a Brella with no shield. Shameful. Also, my teammate didn't jump to me with the power clam, but it's solo queue, so what can you do? The heavy splatling could have taken me out here, but they blocked their own shots by standing behind that ink rail instead of next to it. I have a teammate over here, so I go for this jump across the gap again, and it works out for me only because my teammate was there to save me. So go teamwork. Between the two of us, we have 8 clams. There are 4 more right there, and I was expecting my teammate to go for them, but he starts spamming this way, so I'm like, okay, fine, I guess I'll do all the work and pass all the clams to you, but then that teammate died, and I'm just like, why? Just why? At least my team's N-Zap in the back was able to build a power clam so we can take this game into overtime. In moments like these where the match is coming right on down to the wire, you really have your work cut out for you. Because you know the only way to win is if you splat everyone in front of you. So you just gotta take whatever piece of cover you have available to you and use it to outplay everyone. It's obviously much easier said than done, but people tend to make mistakes when the pressure is on, so if you stay cool, you can pull it off. I did not pull it off here, there were just too many enemies and I got overwhelmed, but they were starting to overextend in the very last moments there, so if I was a better player, I think it would have been possible to clutch that. And now it is time for some tower control. Right off the bat, my team is making some really huge plays. I booyah'd, and then Vic booyah'd back, and now we're getting into middle. I'm in a really aggressive spot right here, preventing the enemies from approaching the tower, and the enemy slosher, who is already on the tower, can't really get me because my team would totally annihilate them if they stopped for long enough to get me. The slosher does eventually die, and then the Octobrush decides to just run in and throw their own life away. Ooh, look at that spicy point sensor, giving us so much information. Substrafe away from this auto bomb. I'm able to take this fight with the dualies, and I survived because the dualies just had to respect the fact that almost my entire team was right there. And because the Tetra's backed up, the brush up there was completely exposed. Got an Inkfall shot kill on them, went on tower, used my baller exploded, I got pushed into a bad spot, so I super jumped out and right on back in, landed right next to my good pal Vic. We're about to lose our tower rider. Yep, down he goes. And right here, if we want to keep this push alive, we need to retreat, try to bait these enemies into overextending so we can get a splat. Unfortunately, I died because I did not recognize the fact that I needed to be retreating right there. So it's pretty much back to square one. Just gonna try to kind of play footsies with these enemies and try to find a way to get a numbers advantage. I realized that the enemies had the numbers advantage in that moment there, so I retreated and barely escaped with my life. Because of all these squid beacons, I'm able to keep on jumping out and right on back in, and I actually could have done better. Instead of jumping all the way out and then back to the beacons, I could just be jumping straight to the beacons. My Hero Blaster just died there. There's a little video glitch. And I should have backed up immediately after my Hero Blaster teammate died. But something that I struggle with personally is paying attention to who's alive on your team and knowing when it's time to yeet yourself out. Things start getting pretty scary for us here. The enemies are getting efficient trades. That guy just got 2 for 1 on me and Vic. Oh my gosh. What are we gonna do? Well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Step 1, jump to this beacon. Step 2, splat air buddy. I'm hunting down that first squid. There we go. Got 1. Got 2. Teammate just died to the bomb chicken. There's another guy down there, and I gotta sniff him out. Where is he? Where is he? I lost him. Oh, there he is over there. Get him, get him, get him. Uh-oh, another bomb chicken. Gotta be a little bit evasive. Splat bomb forces me off of that position, and down I go. Rest in peace, little Nautilus boy. At least you got 3 splats. This team was pretty good. We were all staying alive and having pretty good team fights together. I'm really proud of us. It's not that uncommon for this game to give me no other backline than myself on the team, which makes it so I can't really play as aggressively as I want to, but here on this team, I can just go crazy. By the way, look at that sprinkler in the top left there. That's a pretty good one, gotta admit. It was so annoying that I dedicated time to shooting it down twice, and that 96 cal just throws another one. What a jerk. I almost ran out of ink to kill that slosher down there because I wasted so much of my ink shooting at those sprinklers, but nope, didn't work out that time for you, slosher buddy. I'm pretty concerned with trying to kill these defenders here, but the tower is about to ride through that sprinkler. I should have shot it down. Activate baller, and I get booped away because I just bumped into somebody's head, I guess, and I'm so frustrated about the way that this baller went. Like, if I had just not gotten booped away, that would have been so good. I probably could have got some splats, we could have kept the push going. Instead, it just doesn't work out. The enemies start to push the tower over onto our side of the map here. I should have preemptively fired a bunch of shots down there at my Dappled Dooley teammate, just so that they could have had a chance to survive there. Dropping some inkball shots onto that scenario over there by the tower. I could have used this little piece of inflatable cover a little bit better to survive in this situation, but I mean, you know, who can play that perfectly all the time? Not me. Okay, we're getting down to the wire yet again in this match here. So this is the time where somebody on this team needs to go big, or we're all going home. That slosher over there is kind of exposed, but his teammate throws a splat bomb to cover him. And oh my gosh, I just ate that auto bomb for breakfast. That's such a frustrating way for us to lose. Honestly, like, we pretty much lost the match after that. It's not, I mean, we still would have had a long ways to go if I didn't die to that auto bomb, but when that happened, it was just, our fate was sealed. I'm sorry, team. We have now arrived at our final match of this Rank X session. I hope that you guys have all been enjoying this episode. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and check this out. I got Rafa on my team. If you don't know who that is, he's a really good blaster player and an equally good streamer. You should check out his streams. They're really good stuff. Right here, I chose to paint a path forward off of this cliff, but I should have painted a path forward using that ramp that's more in the middle. You'll see why this small choice is actually relevant in a bit. For right now, I'm just painting up the zone, using this block structure in the middle for cover, slipping and sliding back and forth. I just don't want to be standing in any one spot long enough to actually be splatted, and here's where that paint on the ramp comes into play. I end up surviving this baller somehow, and I even get the splat on him, but imagine if that ramp was painted from like my first swim out into middle, then I would have just been really comfortably swimming backwards, not worried at all. Instead, I was pretty scared right there. I thought I might die. So yeah, because of this weapon's incredible mobility, you really want to be thinking ahead about what spots are painted, because it just might save your life later on in the match. I'm covering my teammate here, throwing down some suppressing fire so he doesn't just get easily rushed, and I predicted that L3 going to my right. He actually went to the left, and then I think, yeah, that L3 took us both out. But look, Rafa is so good. He just killed 2 people while the whole team was dead. Actually, you know what? I just realized the enemy team has a DC, but it does even out. You guys will see why it evens out in a little bit. I'm doing a little bit of painting on this left side here just to make us less susceptible to flanks, but overall, I'm dilly-dallying just a little bit too much. I need to be rushing forward to help my teammate Rafa up there, but he dies, and I do the right thing. I'm just like, nope, I am backing all the way up. There's no way I can do this alone. And then Rafa jumps in. He's like, good job, Joe. You didn't die. And I'm like, yep, I helped. And look at this. See, this is why it evens out. My teammate right there, he's AFK. Like, what's going on? He just stopped in the middle of the match. But don't worry, buddy. I got you. I don't know if I was using him as bait. I think that Brella was just like, wait, what is that guy doing? And I used that opportunity to get that kill. Painted his feet so he doesn't have to take any damage from stepping in the orange ink, and he booyahs at me for protecting him. I'm just like, yeah, buddy, no problem. And look at those moves with the Nautilus. I didn't get the kill, but like this weapon is so cool. You can do such cool things and get such interesting shots. I love the Nautilus. It's a great weapon. If you are interested in giving the Nautilus a try, then do yourself a favor, check out my Nautilus gear ability guide. Seriously, I promise you, it's gonna be worth your time. Either way, I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment if you have any questions, if you're confused about anything I said today, or if you just want to make a suggestion for a different weapon I could use, or any other type of suggestion. Let me know down in the comments section. I will see you guys down there. Bye bye.